up in the morning, I got money on my mind. So addicted to it, all I see is dollar signs. Thankful to the Lord, he let me make it through the night. So dead or alive, I'ma go and get what's mine. Everyone that pulled me back, I had to leave behind.
Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Steezy once again. We are back with another episode of Focus Fridays. It's the 7th edition of Focus Fridays, and welcome back to all those old subscribers, the people who've been watching our videos from the start. Well, welcome back to another week and another week of fresh new content. Basically, welcome back, and welcome to those people who are new to the videos, new to the Interview Entertainment YouTube channel. Welcome to Focus Fridays and welcome to the Interview Entertainment. Hope you enjoy the journey, hope you enjoy the content, most importantly. Anyway, before we get down to business on who we're talking about tonight, because it's quite diverse tonight, but anyway, I'd love you to click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you get a notification every time we release an episode, because we've been doing this for every Friday now and there's no Friday we're missing. So you better click that subscribe button so that every Friday you remember that you got a Focus Friday episode to watch and not miss, obviously. So be there or be told. Anyway, tonight we're talking about the one and only music producer, music director and songwriter. He goes by the name MeTime, and we're talking about him tonight. Very well known for his newly released EP, which has a jam pack of collaborations from many of our different young kids in the country. Very well known for that, and he is a great producer, and it was a beautiful EP. So I decided, you know what, let's talk about him, because man, I couldn't keep my mouth closed about something that dope, especially the EP. But anyway, yeah, we're talking about MeTime, and basically I chose to talk about MeTime tonight because well, our producers don't get the credit they deserve most of the time, and especially when most artists release music and you know they don't talk about the producers much, especially when the music is given that much credit. You know, you always talk about the artist, you always talk about how he did this, but you never really talk about how the beat flowed or how the person behind the beats and the music you're listening to did his thing, basically. And you know, I decided, you know what, since most of our producers don't get the credit, I think, you know, sometimes you just have to get down and talk about the OGs, you know, who have been killing this industry with their beat making skills and how they've done their thing. And in this case, whoa, MeTime, goddamn. Anyway, MeTime, basically, his beat making skills remarkable. Basically, I'm not really the type of person who has listened to MeTime for the longest time, you know, and basically a lot of people would be like, yeah, you don't know much about this nigga, why the fuck you talking about him? But like, I'm basically talking about MeTime for a reason tonight, and the reason that, you know, probably, yeah, I may have not listened to him for the longest of time, but basically, I mean, I've listened to him long enough. I've listened to his music quite a lot lately to know that, you know, he's quite a great producer over and all. His creativity really brings out a lot in his music and in his beats, basically. And for me, I decided, you know what, yeah, whatever, I may not know much about him, I may not have you know, got down into detail, maybe I may have not known him for the longest time, but I thought, you know, I think I should get down to talk about him, because I mean, his talent really, I felt like I have to talk about his talents and his creativity and how I've experienced all those aspects to the producer and basically the artist that he is, and basically how I've experienced it. I mean, it's been dope. I mean, you can tell by the smile on my face. I mean, it's been a great experience. You know, I only started listening to him when I heard about this Spread Love EP, which kind of like featured a few of the people I actually love and the people I actually, you know, fancy in the music industry. And when it featured those type of people, when I saw that he featured this many different people, I mean, that was before he released the Spread Love EP. So for me, it was like, wow, okay, for this person to bring people like RK, Abel Kane, Sam Dynasty, Amma Crystals into and various others into one type of project, I have to commend him for that, and for me that's when I got interested into maybe he's onto something here, you know what I mean. So for me it was like, okay, yeah, maybe he's probably onto something, because usually especially in Swaziland, you don't get a lot of artists who kind of like work together, especially when you have an EP like this, an EP as diverse as this, like the Spread Love EP. I'm gonna get down into detail on the EP later on, but when you look at the way an artist basically put all these young kids together, it was kind of like a great thing to witness and see it being brought out into life and listen to the final product. But basically I think I have to commend him for being the artist or the producer that's that creative to actually bring out a lot of talent, and just like I said, it's kind of like really rare to get a blend of artists that are quite diverse, and a blend of artists that can actually bring out something genuine and kind of like dope to release, which was the Spread Love EP. But I'm not talking about the Spread Love EP for now. But basically when I went down deeper into the history of what he's released so far, especially on SoundCloud, as far as I could tell, which is as far as what I could listen to, especially on SoundCloud, I checked out this remix pack, this 5-track remix pack that he released probably approximately 1 year or 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. This remix pack, I think I remember quite clearly when I listened to the first track, which was Fela in Versace. When I listened to Fela in Versace, the first few seconds I thought, okay, wait. Basically, when I was kind of like looking at the EP, I first looked at it's not an EP, it's a remix pack, by the way. But when I first looked at the whole pack, like when you're entering into a pack and you're just like, okay, let's see what he got here. When I looked into that, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, yeah, probably just maybe he may be just remaking beats, remaking the beat of Fela and Versace, remaking the beats of Lawyer by 6 by Black, remaking the beat of Suited, remaking the beat of Was Dad, Boy T, and Nasty C. So I thought he was basically remaking the beats and just putting out what he's done with the beats. But when I listened to Fela and Versace, I was quite surprised when I heard the voice of the original artists. I was just like, what? I was just like, what? Because every time I see someone or I hear of someone remaking beats, it's usually just the beat only, which is the instrumental of the beat. You never have the original artist into a remake of the beat, and for me it was quite dope, because I was like, wow, okay, now I'm interested, because yeah, I love vibing to beats. I'm the type of person who can vibe to beats, chill to beats. Beats are like that. Beats are like, they bring out a sort of chilled vibe to a certain person who loves music and is interested into listening to music, basically. So for me, it was quite dope for me to like listen to a track that I know, and it's a transformed beat, and a transformed beat, and he blended with the flow of the music of the original tracks, basically. And I think he gave himself a challenge there. I think he gave himself a challenge to like, let me just do something I've never done before, which is like remaking an original track and putting the actual vocals and the actual recording to it. And for me, it was kind of like the greatest thing. And basically, for him to challenge himself in that way, I think it had to pull out to me that I think he really had to challenge himself in order to see what type of talented producer he is, because basically some people who are in the music producing type of field, you may find that you have a certain way of making beats. I personally at the moment do not know how to like make beats. I do want to make beats one day, just for the vibes, just try to make a few beats there and there, but that's not for me to sell or whatever, just free beats for everyone to use. So for me, as I am interested in this, you may find, let me just put myself as an example. You may find that me as a probably aspiring producer me as a producer or an aspiring producer, you may find that I have a certain way of producing beats which kind of like works out for me. And basically when I find that type of comfort zone in my beat making, I cannot step out into a whole dimension where I'm now challenging what I do. And especially usually some people you may find, in as much as I don't have many producer friends in my circle or whatever, but you may find that most people don't want to step out of their comfort zone because they do not want their beats to sound whack at some point. So for me it was like, okay, yeah, maybe sometimes you do have to stay in your comfort zone so that you don't produce something whack. Basically that's partly my perception. And what I realized when listening to this 5-track remake pack by MeTime, basically I realized that maybe just maybe that most of our producers sometimes do need to step out into a new dimension and probably produce something that is probably even out of their comfort zone, because when it's out of your comfort zone, that's when your talent grows out of it, or grows into it, you know what I mean? And that's where you get even the most interested. But wait, hold up. Before we continue spewing facts and before we continue on our intimate session about producing and music, I'd like you to click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you get a notification every time we release an episode, because we've gotten this far in the video where you're kind of interested in the content, so you should be clicking that subscribe button, hitting that notification bell so that every time we release an episode you're watching your favorite Focus Fridays show on YouTube. So do remember to click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that we tune into the vibes and we continue relating in this relationship that we have together. Anyway, let me just continue. And what I was basically saying there was, when you're interested in the type of, basically in a certain way of making beats, I think it is very easy for you to get less and less interested in producing, because remember that producing music and making beats, two different things. Two different things. And when you're just making beats as well and you interested, maybe, let me just put that in context. Let's say I just make beats, I just make jumping beats and maybe probably make iconic beats as well, dope beats, beats that you would think they deserve to be sold for probably more than 20k. So when I make those type of beats, I'm not basically making music, am I? Because someone may take my beats and record with someone else, and someone else is going to do the mixing and mastering and stuff. But now when I just make beats, it's easy for me to just fall off and not be that interested in the producing and music making process. And basically I do not know what songs MeTime has written, but basically what I'm trying to say is MeTime, basically when he was releasing this 5-pack remake pack, when he was releasing that, or basically when he was making that, I think he made that with the intent that he wants to step from a dimension where he's just making beats into a dimension where he's now making music. That's how I feel, and that's how I felt with this remake pack. Because at first, remember, I thought that when I was looking at the remake pack, that was way before I even started listening to the remake pack that he released 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or 1 year ago, I'm not sure. But basically what I thought about this pack firstly was it was just beats, right? And when I removed myself from that type of perspective where I thought it was beats was when I started listening, because now it stepped into a dimension where it wasn't just beats that I was listening to. Now I was listening to the actual tracks that he actually produced. So for me, when you go from this beat making process into the music making process, which is really complex, and when you step into beat making is very simple, you can make simple beats, or you can make the complicated beats, which is also simple. But now when you step into the music making process, which what MeTime has been doing, basically when you step into that dimension, it's very hard for you to not be interested in what you're doing, because music making is a process, is a new journey, is a new adventure each and every day. You know what I mean? I have been in studios, I've been in different types of studios for the longest time to actually know that. Not really that long, but I've been in that type of environment for quite a while to know that music making is quite a process, and it's a new adventure every time you make a track. Every time you make a different track, it's a whole new adventure. And when you make another different track, that's when you step into another dimension. And I think it's very hard for you to not be interested in the producing, making, or the music making, basically process of music, because that's where you get the most interest. Because when something doesn't challenge you, that's basically you're not really that interested. I think that's how I viewed things, especially when I even listened to this remake pack, was that it is a complicated process, in as much as complicated processes can be very frustrating, but they can bring a lot of interest out of it. And for me, I think it brought out MeTime's talent in all of this, and I think he did a great job in this remake pack. I gotta give him credit for that, because it was dope. And when he stepped from the remake pack to the Lost Files that he released a month ago or so, when he released those files, those were just beats. Those was just when he was stunting and just making beats. But there's a difference between the remake pack and the beats he released after the remake pack. Basically, you can just go to his discography so that you can understand a little bit more of what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is, you can make beats, but you can't make music if you make beats, because music and making music and making beats are two different things, just like I said. So for me, the remake pack and the pack where he released different types of beats are two different things. Yes, some people would start making beats and then make music, but the remake pack basically for me was when he was making music. That is when you want to get the right flow, right? That is when you want to get the right 808, you want to get the right beat, or the right repeat, so that people can feel the vibe you try to bring out when producing. That's why I always say, I always have these conversations every time I'm talking about music, is that everything that concerns music is art. You can be a producer, you can be a music producer, you can be a music video producer as well. That is also art, because even when you're a music video producer, you bring out what is in your mind into something physical form. You know exactly what everyone is supposed to do in order to get what is in your mind into physical form for people to watch and actually feel and actually love at the end of the day. So I feel like MeTime, what he has done with his music, it has been a process, but I think he's been doing great things with his music and with his music making skills. It's been a great skill. I may not know his songwriting skills. I don't really know the tracks he's written for artists. I'm not really sure, but if he's written a few tracks for himself, I think it's the greatest thing. But I may have listened to some of the tracks, but I don't know what he sounds like, and that's one element about the producers. Producers are always those ghost people, that always want to stay secret and always want to stay in their own space when doing their thing, and I think that's a great thing as well, because that brings out interest, where you want to see basically who this person is, what he's talented in, how he's talented. Just like me in this case, when I started listening to MeTime, when I started with the Spread Love EP, that's when I gained my interest for MeTime. That's what led me to do this, right? So basically, what MeTime has brought out with his talent has been a great thing, and also I gotta commend him for the beat pack, because also the beats were kind of crazy. In fact, if it wasn't for his beat making skills, I do not think that he would have released such great music at this point in the industry. So you gotta give him credit for that. But now this is the time, my time where I'm mostly excited to even talking about the EP itself. It for me, it was a great EP. No lies, no cap. It was a great EP over and all. For me, my listening experience was kind of like really lit, and the way he brought many different types of artists into one type of project. In as much as the whole project itself is not released, it's only part one of 4 parts. So I think there's a whole lot to expect from that. But for me to talk about what I've already heard from this, I think it's a lot to expect. I think what I expect is even less than what he's about to put out there. So for me, it has been a great thing. And I've touched on this just a little bit just before. Was it's kind of rare for us Swazis to work together, and to have something as collaborative as this EP is at the moment. I think it has to be the greatest thing. I think for me, what I think, he saw an opportunity out of what he thought. I think it all started when he had a crazy thought to have a lot of artists into part one or into the whole EP as a whole. And for me, I think that has to be the greatest thing ever. And for a producer to have his own soul EP and to have a lot of different artists into one EP, I think it has to be the dopest thing ever, because in Swaziland we don't get a lot of producers releasing music that actually feature a lot of our young kids. So I think he saw an opportunity there to actually see all these talented young kids like Sam Dynasty, RK, Abel Kane, and Mason, all these talented people. I think he just saw an opportunity to bring out these talented people to the light and into an EP basically. So far, I do not know who he's gonna feature next and what is gonna happen into the rest of the EP. I think that's one element that I think he wanted to leave, was that the element of surprise, where you kind of like don't know what he's gonna put out yet, and you're kind of like really patient to see what's next. And for me, I can't really talk a lot about this EP, but for me, over and all, it was a great listening experience. I think I have to commend him for that. From January up until April, which is kind of weird because you're talking about months, but now I'm talking about the EP. So from going from January up until April, I think it has to be the greatest experience. I mean, a lot of people now know already how I feel about RK, and how I feel about RK is great, right? And for me, in order to bring out the blend of Armor Crystals, Abel Klein, I don't really listen that much to many of these artists that he featured, but I think that was another element that he brought out to me, was that all of these artists that he featured played a part into making this EP as amazing as it is at the moment. So that's how I got interested into the other artists like Mason, Abel Kane, the artists that I really did not know that I do want to know now. So I think that's another element that he brought out into the EP, and I gotta give him credit for that. Hats off to him. So I think that's basically it for this one, and I gotta give him credit for his whole discography. The EP was really a nice listening experience. I can't really touch a lot on the EP because we're not finished with the EP yet, so we're still waiting for part 2, 3, and 4 of the EP, and then we'll wrap it up. But that over and all, that was a great EP. I listened quite a lot of the great tracks that he's released so far. So I think over and all, his discography was as amazing as the EP, and the EP was just an elevation of the talent that he brings out in his producing and music making skills and stuff like that. So I think it has to be the greatest thing ever. But anyway, before we get down into gory details and how we feel about the EP, you gotta wait for part 2, 3, and 4 of the Spread Love EP from MeTime. Go on SoundCloud, go on Spotify, any type of platform, type MeTime, or go on Instagram, click the link in his bio to tune into the vibes basically. But basically, I feel very, 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 very appreciative of the way he's put out his talent in the stuff that he's released so far, and his EP so far was kind of like a dope experience as well. So I think I gotta give him credit for that, and shout out to him for giving me my track of the week, and shout out to him for everything that he's given to us so far in the industry, because you know what it is, for the culture. But anyway, thank you basically to you, MeTime, for giving me my track of the week, which basically I'm not really sure. I think it's between January and February. But I think my My track of the week is gonna be February, featuring Sam Dynasty, Abel Kane, and Mason with RK as well. So it's basically a track that's gonna lay a foundation for all the talent that Swaziland has to bring out. So I think that's my track of the week. Anyway, do remember to click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you get a notification every time we release an episode. It is your boy Steezy once again. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. I leave you guys with February featuring Sam Dynasty, RK, Mason, and Abel Kane. See you guys next week, same time, same place. It's your boy Steezy.
In the presence of your marriage partner, who will trust you for the rest of your life.
Asbon ngekufana, but you're my done. I'm a charming done. You're a stunning done. I believe in me, you a lot. Came from the bottom, made it to the top. You went sour when I got caught. Try to make peace, you always I can't fight. Be coming off this soft these days, cause all you do is just talk these days. But you know I'm trying to show you things. You know I'm trying to show you things, yeah. Love is blind, so what do you see in my eyes? They might say I'm gon' ride for you, I slide for you, yeah. Tripping on me on your birthday, cause I couldn't make it. I'm trying to get that paper, ayy. Try to say I see you later, but you wasn't here, and I'll still see you later. I love you, I ain't trying to save you though. I do thank the Lord that he made you though. I can't make you love me, I know you know, but I make you ride me like rodeo. These days we all better, you waking up in my sweater. Back in school I wrote letters, now I just go out and get her. Hey, you waking up in my pajamas, while these other girls sleeping on me. It don't matter cause you all that I need. I'm being honest like that's all I could be. I spun it fine, but you're my done. I'm a charming done. You're a stunning done. I believe in me, you a lot. Came from the bottom, made it to the top. You went sour when I got caught. Try to make peace, you always fight. Ayy. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind, love is blind. On my line all the time. Wonder why, close my eyes, all I find is you. Spend my life, yeah, wanna die with. It wasn't easy to see it for you, I could not believe it. It's true that you lose your senses, cause you was hurting me, girl, it was so hard to feel it. Numb to the pain like I'm dumb in the brain. Can't hear a thing when you spit on my name, I ain't complaining. Spectators always just know what to say when they ain't the ones in the field in the game. Just leave us alone, they don't know how long I've been on my own. How you was there for me when in my lowest. Communication been keeping us strong, so can't even think of separation. Lifting nobody's expectations, know that you got me levitating. Soul and my body's connected, left affected, baby. Barely patient when you're not there, it's gonna be long before I see you again. Don't even care about meeting your friends. When you with me, you ain't leaving with them. Giving you chills, I can feel on your skin. Promise you gon' be with me till the end. Follow you home just so I tell your boss that I'm taking you with me. Gon' see where we live. Tell me I'm going crazy. How it could be that I'm in a state where my mind is obsessed with this chick, my intent to commit. I descend to an abyss, no regrets. Goal is just to impress, be the best that I can be. You and me and make family, and ignore all the noise. They don't understand. Am I still blind when you're the only one I can see? I spun ngekufana, but you're my done. I'm a charming done. You're a stunning done. I believe in me, you a lot. Came from the bottom, made it to the top. You went sour when I got caught. Try to make peace, you always fight. Ayy. Yeah. Harder than night, you always down when I'm ready to ride. Toxic, we lost it in no time. Clear to see, but we ain't got no eyes. Them hips don't lie, the way you move, I'm hypnotized. Doing all the things I like, ain't no doubt up in my mind. I'm pushing with all that I got, just to make sure you're a part of me. All in the name of my love, but I know it ain't what it gotta be. I know you see it, shorty, you just don't wanna believe it, shorty. It's never easy, shorty. It's never easy, shorty. I can't operate when you're right here. You smiling, I misplace my fears, but I cannot tell if you're sincere. Trust issues, they got me distorted, not showing emotion, my mental disorder. Ask me about loving, it's kinda in sorta, but I try to let you inside of my borders. I just don't know if you're ready to see what's inside. Some scars I can't leave behind. I try to give you love and light despite the thoughts in my mind. My demons are back despite me, cause this time it won't be fine. If you leave, I'll be cut deep, best believe my heart will be hard to find. Asbon ngekufana, but you're my done. I'm a charming done. You're a stunning done. I believe in me and you a lot. Came from the bottom, made it to the top. You went sour when I got caught. Try to make peace, you always fight. Hey,
I feel like, yeah, that love at first sight, yeah, got me wrapped so tight, yeah. Oh, you were the reason I got lost in time. But what we have common is pain. I speak through emotion in vain. I see through your flaws in line with your soul. This kind of chemistry vibe with the flow. We conquer the world and chirping out loud like a couple of birdies. Love is a difficult game. I still be here. I still be here through the summer. I still be here through the storm. I still be here through the rain and the thunder. Whatever gon' keep the will gone. I found in you something more precious than gold. Roses are red, violets are blue. And this is a good day for me to tell you that I love you. This is a good day for me to tell you that I love you.